Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 15th of July, and well, it's been quite a busy week. It's the first time I'm able to sit down and cast the match properly since I've been busy with vacation and school, but now it's the end of the school year, and I finally have some time to get back into casting just for myself and stuff like that. And today we'll be going over Sisu versus Team Empire. This match was played 3 days ago in the European region on July 12th. Now, I haven't seen this match as of yet, and I've missed out on quite a few matches prior because it has been such a busy Pro League schedule. The upcoming major in Raleigh is what? It's going to be next month. It's just about a month away from today, actually. So the guys over at ESL and all of the players have to put in a ton of time to try to round up this Pro League, well, the half of this Pro League season as fast as possible. So it's been not necessarily just like a power week, but it's been completely busy. But nevertheless, today's match is going to be played on Clubhouse. Sisu versus Team Empire once again. Ban phase has been completely done. Echo has been the last ban. Mira, Maverick, and Capitao will be off the board for today. And okay, never mind. We're just going to skip a tiny bit because I'm pretty sure somebody ran into a mouse bug. No problem. Let me just find up. All right, over here. So let's get right back into it. So first sight of the day is going to be CCTV in cash room. Cece going to go upstairs, and well, for those of you who might not know already, or if you just aren't following Pro League as much, Eunice is back on Sisu for the first time in, well, years. He not recently, but he left G2 a few months ago, and Uno was there to replace him. Uno coming from no other than Sisu themselves back in the day. And so Eunice is going to be going back to his original team where he first started off his Pro League career before moving on to Penta's roster, now known as G2. But aside from that, let's just jump right into the round. Shate on the Maestro, setting up those cams and also a few ADS devices from Gumphy. He's just gonna make Shate's life much more easier when it comes to holding down that garage, because garage is one of the most pivotal points of the map. It is crucial for the defensive team to hold the garage when they're defending the upstairs site. Now, since Mira is off the board, Mira, actually, I don't know. Mira is one of those operators where with some maps, she kind of tends to be seen as more of a crutch for the defensive team if those mirror windows get opened. That's kind of my feeling that I've had after watching a ton of Pro League a few months ago, that there are just some maps, for example, Villa is one of those maps where Mira just doesn't prove to be as useful as one might think. And Team Empire are going to start off with getting the wall open. Bandit trick from Eunice fails, and Shepard will get the wall open. Dan picks up a kill onto Eunice. Bandit is off the board, and man count is 5-4. Already a minute into the round, and Team Empire have done a very great job. They're moving very efficiently across the map. They've taken control of the west side of the building, and they've managed to keep all of the defenders at bay, making sure that they don't run out, don't get any more map control. And so now it's just going to be up to Sisu to make sure that they play angles as much as possible and that they actually, when their gunfights in, don't miss any shots. Karzeka, inside of construction, he's going to start getting the... Oh, and Scyther's already on site. Oh my god, he picks up one onto Boonsea, and he sees one more next to the staircase. Shepard gets Shate. That's Meister off of the board. Gumphy goes down and solves to Slebin. It's an N5v1. He picks up one against Dan and immediately gets taken out by Shepard. Very decisive round coming out from Team Empire. Little to no mistakes made, almost a flawless round. They will take out Sisu pretty decisively and getting the first round on the board. Their strategy was pretty much perfectly executed. They got the server wall opened, and as soon as they got that opened, they had tons of lines of sight into the site, making sure that the defenders were just plopped and they had to, hold their positions without peeking and being exposed. And then Hibana, I believe it was Karzeka on the Hibana, he moved into construction and opened up the construction wall. And yeah, as we saw that, I think it was it was Dan who was on the sledge or on the Thatcher at first. He just managed to waltz into sight uncontested, and he took out two people pretty easily as well, or actually one person pretty easily. And now Sisu are going to go downstairs into the church and armory. They're going to be keeping more or less the same lineup, and Team Empire is also keeping the same lineup. And a little bit of an interesting thing that's happening in this match is that Jackal has remained unbanned. Now, Jackal has been one of those operators that tends to get banned nearly every single time because his Inox scanner is it is so very annoying to deal with. And on another note, Sleben is upstairs in the catwalk. I don't know what he's doing up there, but when it comes to roaming on this map, it just normally never works out. Jonas was roaming inside of Strip Club. I don't know what his plan was, but it did not work out. He managed to put a lot of shots into Karzeka. Shipper picks up Sleben, and that is both of the roamers off of the board for Sisu. This is more or less why you just never, ever, ever roam on Clubhouse. Only 1% of the time does roaming actually work on this map. It's just the way the map has played out ever since the dawn of Rainbow Six Siege. Roaming on Clubhouse is a big no-no. And if you will do it, you will be punished. Just like Sleben and Eunice have been. Dan picks up Boonsea. That is smoke off of the board. And Shate will be droned out. Information gets relayed over to Dan, and he might push him down the staircase. But no. Both defenders are just going to retreat back into sight. Team Empire have taken control of all of the hatches. They're going to start making their initial attack very, very quickly, and at the same time they have 80 seconds to work with. They have all the time in the world to take out the remaining two players on Sisu's side. This is definitely going to go Empire's way. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. I believe that is Shate inside the church, who will constantly be scanned on and off. They have information on Gomfi, who is pretty much stuck on the armory doorway. Two players will drop, and they're going to get the church wall opened, forcing Shate out of his position to either make a push or just to stand there and die. Shots coming out onto Gomfi. Joystick picks up the kill from above on the hatch, and Shepard will take down Shate. A flawless round coming out from Team Empire and putting a second one on the board for themselves. Sisu has got to wake up. They've been playing this game for just as long as anyone. Sisu has been one of those teams that has been around since the dawn of Rainbow Six Pro League. They have been present at the first ever Pro League matches, Pro League LAN events in year one. They've been playing this game for just as long as anyone has. And you'd expect them to realize that roaming on Clubhouse will never, ever, ever work. If they do decide to go back downstairs into church, which they have, please do everyone a favor. Do not roam. Do not roam. Stay safe. Play downstairs. Hold the angles that are necessary. And just wait for those attackers to walk into your line of sight. But moving smartly along, more or less, once again, I think the exact same lineup coming out from Sisu, more or less same setup. And in the previous round, Team Empire did also a fantastic job of taking control of first floor and smartly moving their way into the basement, opening up the hatches, getting the church wall open. So even if they hadn't picked, even if there weren't any roamers to contest them on the upper floors, they would have still made their initial push, getting those reinforced walls and hatches open. That still would have gone exactly the same, but the round would have gone so much more differently if those roamers had stayed downstairs this time. But once again, there's going to be a roamer upstairs on the catwalk and garage. Karzeka has taken quite a bit of damage. If, I believe that is Sleben on the Legion upstairs in the catwalk. If he manages to get one kill, even if it's on Dan or Karzeka, or even if they just waste enough time, which is obviously their goal, just to waste time. If they pick up at least one kill, it'll be a successful roam. And I'm not sure if they actually know, but there is a second player up in servers, and it looks like he is getting tracked by Joystick on the Jackal, so he probably won't stay safe for long, but they've successfully managed to waste a minute, and Jonas picks up a kill onto Joystick. Now, roamers have gotten a kill. This is pretty much considered a successful roam, and they will continue to contest the upstairs floor for as much as possible. Sleben is still upstairs in the catwalk. Concussive Mines from Dan going out. And Dan finally gets Sleben after 90 seconds. But there's still two people upstairs. One on the staircase gets pinged. Scyther picks up Gomfi. And now Shate will take some shots, but he's going to try to run as fast as possible downstairs. He picks up a kill onto Scyther, and just before that, Jonas was killed. Now they've practically managed to isolate Shate on the stock staircase, I believe that is. A few shots go out. Shepard doesn't pick up the kill, but Shate does nevertheless. Boonsei picks up the kill onto Dan with the M87, not the M870. Excuse me, but the SAS Shoddy, and it's all up to Karzeka, who has taken a lot of damage at the start of the round. Sisu, they know where the diffuser is. It's outside. Karzeka is the lone wolf. He has to... Well, he's got quite a tall task ahead of himself. The diffuser is nowhere within reach. He has to go outside the map to pick it up, while both players from Sisu, Boonsei, and Shate are upstairs in the stock room, and they will just camp the diffuser. And with 20 seconds left to go, this isn't really looking all that doable for Karzeka. But don't get me wrong, we've seen this guy pull out some very amazing plays in the past, but this just isn't it. 8 seconds left on the clock. He'll walk right into Boonsei's shotgun, and he will eat those shotgun pellets. He does get traded. He does manage to get the trade, however, but you know that doesn't cut it. Sisu get the first round on the board, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but the roam kinda sorta worked. It kinda sorta worked. It's difficult to pinpoint what Empire could have done differently. I'm pretty sure that when Sleben was on the catwalk in garage, he had Legion mines on the staircase leading up to the catwalk. He had Legion mines at the doorway, and probably also down at the doorway by the lounge. So even if Team Empire had all their bases covered and could enter through those two doorways, they would have still hit the Legion mines. And Sleben, he did also have the option to push anyone if they would have stepped on said Legion mines, but then again, it was, I believe, Dan on the Zofia outside who had breached the wall in server to give himself a line of sight into the catwalk and into server. So even if Sleben were to stand up and try to pick up a kill, he would have immediately been traded back by Dan on the Zofia. And now for the second time, Sisu are going to go upstairs into the CCTV and cash room. Previous round did not go as well. They only managed to pick up one kill, removing one player from Team Empire off the board, so it did not necessarily go as well as they had hoped for Sisu, but hopefully this time they can come up with something a bit more different and play it a lot more smartly than before. And maybe this time Jonas will actually do a better job at bandit tricking, since I think The first time he nearly got the bandit trick off, but it just wasn't enough. And as soon as Team Empire had gotten the server wall opened initially, things just collapsed from there. So Shepard is going to come out with an exothermic charge, and Jonas will fail to get the bandit trick, and he will bite the dust, getting blown up by a mixture of metal oxide. Boonsy gets killed onto Karzeka. That's the Hibana off the board, and he will immediately get traded by Scyther, who then gets traded immediately back by Shate. The man count is up at 3-3. Dan is firing some shots into Shate. He will put them really low on HP, and there is one being jackal tracked on the staircase. Fresh footprints off for joystick to scan, and he will get the wallbang through the wall. That is Shate off the board, who just had a slither of HP left, but nevertheless brings the man count down to 3-2. Dan picks up Gumphy, and it's all up to Slebin inside of Cash, who picks up Dan, and it is a 2-1 with 70 seconds left on the board. This is very doable for Slebin. He sees one over by joystick, picks up an amazing headshot onto him, and it's a 1v1. It's all up to Shepard on the thermite. He has 60 seconds to work with. He has opened up nearly every single entry point imaginable, and he's getting pings out from his teammates. He knows that Slebin is over by the server stack, and he nails the headshot onto Slebin. And with that, he wins the round, taking the advantage and putting the score up to 3-2 for Team Empire. Pretty swiftly. That was a super close call, and man, did Slebin nearly have it as well. I don't think he actually managed to spot the drone wherever it was, because those pings were coming out. The pings that were coming out must have been pretty annoying and stuff like that. And Sisu are going to try to redeem themselves. They're going to go back upstairs to CCTV and cash room. You know what people say, third time's the charm. Hopefully they get it this time, because they came oh so very close in the round prior. This might just work out with them, judging by how close they came. And pardon me, I did say the score was 3-2. That is my bad. It is just 3-1. And yeah. Jonas has so far been unsuccessful at bandit tricking twice in a row. The first time he just bailed quite early because he realized that there was nearly no realistic way he could bandit trick it, and he got picked up by Dan in the first round they were defending. The second time he just got blown up by an exothermic charge, which did not bode well for him at all. And this time they're putting a bit more of a difficult control on the west side of the building, it looks like. Now, normally keeping control of master bedroom and the gym does lend the defensive team a lot more flexibility when it comes to defending. They can deny entry into the construction and prevent the attackers from getting the construction wall open and giving them extra lines of sight into the cash room. So Jonas has his shock wires set up. He's waiting for Scyther to throw out an EMP, and now he will get the wall open successfully. Jonas is nowhere to be found. Server wall gets opened. And for the third time in a row, Jonas has failed to bandit trick the wall. Now, I'm pretty sure they have information of Slebin, who was so far out from sight. He just threw a few goo mines out, and he's gonna slowly and quietly retreat into the basement. But unfortunately for him, Team Empire have brought a jackal once again, and they will have information on the player downstairs. That is the Legion, who is making his way into the oil pit, I believe, and he's just gonna try to get back onto site as quickly as possible, but it probably won't end up well for Slebin. But then again, if he manages to waste as much time as he has now, and if he picks up a kill on the way, then it'll have been a successful roam. I don't agree in the fact that Slevin should be roaming. After all, Legion is an operator that you want to keep on site, because those goo mines are so very useful, and if your Legion goes down too early into the round, then all of that utility will have been brought for naught. Smoke grenades coming out into the construction. There is joystick inside of construction with some lines of sight open. Dan is peeking the server wall. And with 45 seconds to left, not a single kill has yet come out from either side. Dan will slowly walk in, and he will pick up one onto Gumphy and immediately refrag by Jonas. 4-4 with 30 seconds left on the board. Shots coming out from Scyther. He might spot one, and it's Jonas picks up. He injures one, doesn't pick up the kill. And there is just another person right outside the window. If he picks up right now, if he peeks it, he might get a kill. Jonas picks up Karzeka, fails to get the kill onto Shepard. Shepard goes for the revive, and it's 3v2 with no time left. Slevin picks up Scyther, and it's all to Shepard, who will also get shut down by Slevin. Brilliantly done by the Legion. He managed to find his way back from the basement after he was being jackal tracked. He managed to find his way back up to the site, and he manages to close out the round decisively and get another point on the board for his team. Sisu are going to go back downstairs into the church and arsenal room. They have successfully defended it once, and now they're looking for a second time, hopefully equalizing the score 3-3 before moving into the second half. 6 pick off of the Jaeger onto the Valkyrie. Pretty interesting choice. I'm surprised. I'm curious to see if Gumphy has anything special planned for those black eyes, if he has any special spots planned. Odds are that whenever somebody is bringing Valkyrie onto the basement defense, they might have a pre-placed C4 set up so they can get themselves an easy frag, but then again, it is a bit surprising that they would opt to pick Valkyrie instead of Pulse in this instance, excuse me, because Pulse is one of those operators that has a heartbeat scanner. Obviously, it's his unique gadget, but he can practically stay in the comfort of the basement, unexposed, and he can relay information to the defending squad constantly with that heartbeat scanner. So it is a bit befuddling as to why they opted for the Valkyrie instead of the Pulse. One roamer upstairs inside a cache. An Empire will be joining out the entire garage area because well, history repeats itself apparently. There isn't one roamer upstairs in Catwalk this time, but there is one upstairs regardless. I believe that is Gumphy on the Valkyrie upstairs, who is all on his lonesome, and he's got, so many attackers pinching him from each and every corner imaginable. Joystick already jumped in, picks up Jonas. That's 2 down. Gumphy and Jonas are both off the board. Roaming did not work once again. Joystick picks up Shate with a nasty flick onto his head. And just after a minute, the man count has already gone down. Oh no, this is not looking good for them. And Joystick, oh my goodness. He walked down. All he had to do in that entire round was just walk down a staircase. And every single person he met, he just slapped them in the face with bullets. That was what? How many people in that round? 3 or 4 people he picked up? He picked up, I think it was 4 people that round just by covering maybe 20 meters in total of area. Ridiculous stuff if you ask me. And the score is going to be 4-2 for Empire. It's halftime. Sides have swapped. Empire will be on the defense side and Sisu on the attacking side. First side that's lined up is upstairs, CCTV and cache. Nothing out of the ordinary. After all, it is, I think, the most favorite site in Clubhouse to this date. And they're gonna mix things up in comparison to Sisu. They're gonna be bringing out a Qaid in this case. They're going to be using both breach denials, both the bandit and the Kaid. And Sisu also doing things a little bit differently than Empire has done. They're going to be putting Sleben on the Ash this time. That is it's a bold move, I guess. Ash isn't necessarily an operator that you need to have per se when attacking any site, more or less. I guess it's just a comfort pick coming out from Sleben. I haven't seen Sleben play Ash personally before, so I'm curious to see what he has in stock for this. Gonfi's waiting on Boonsey to come over to the server wall, which he's right there, and he's probably gonna successfully open up the server wall with an exothermic charge, unless if Dan is prepped but I'm pretty sure, yeah, Dan is prepped and ready over there with a charge, with a shock wire, just patiently awaiting for that exothermic charge to hit the wall so it can be snagged out of existence. And Joystick, for some reason, is out on the other side of the map on Strip Club. He is waiting for somebody just to cross the path of the garage wall, and Boonsey is coming so very close. But he gets into a gunfight with Gomfi, and not a single life was taken, although they did exchange quite a bit of damage with each other. And I'm pretty sure that Joystick, he might just continue to hang out over in the middle side of the map, but no, Eunice will decisively take the kill onto Joystick. Dan gets a refrag onto Sleben and evens out the man count. Ash and Jaeger both off the board, and 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Sisu need to start getting aggressive. They need to start making their push, and maybe, just maybe, they'll manage to pick Dan up. Eunice picks up 2 kills, one onto Dan and one onto Scyther, and Karzeka gets a small little refrag onto Boonsey, but the man count is not in their favor. Shepard is watching the staircase. He's patiently waiting for that Hibana to peek, and Hibana, Jonas won't do so until he knows there's information coming out from his teammates. Shate picks up the kill onto Karzeka, and Jonas picks up the kill onto Shepard. Jonas, pretty much the MVP of that round, got, I think that was, what, 3 or 4? I definitely saw 3 kills. I might have missed the 4th kill, but damn did he do work that round. So Team Empire are going to give this another shot. They're going to go back upstairs into CC and Cash Room. Although, to my surprise, we haven't seen a single gym bedroom defense so far. Shepard 6 picks off with the smoke onto the Kaid. Excuse me. If Joystick had managed to pick up at least 1 kill onto Gomfi, it didn't actually matter who was onto, but let's just say he got the kill onto Gomfi and managed to successfully rotate back to the site, that round would have gone much, much differently. Even if he just managed to pick up 1 kill and still get refragged from Eunice that round, it would have been a very successful roam, but things didn't pan out as he planted. I did like the attempt from Joystick to be very sneaky and super creative with those really long peaks, but it didn't pan out as he wanted to, unfortunately for him, and the round is underway. So X-Kairos pellets go out to create a line of sight onto Catwalk, cutting off the rotation from that small little window. And that's not necessarily the biggest of deals, because they do have a small little rotation hole that leads directly into sight, so they don't have to opt for the window when they choose to rotate back into sight. Dan has got his shock wires set up. ready for some bandit tricking. Hopefully, I don't think we haven't seen a successful bandit trick come out yet. Well, I'm pretty sure Dan has pulled one successful bandit trick off at least once last round. But from Sisu, we haven't seen that happen. So wall will get opened very easily. Shepard's Electroclaw, unfortunately, wasn't quick enough to stop the exothermic charge blowing the wall up. And now they're gonna gather as much information as possible. They spot the dock. They spot Karzeka out on the catwalk. So, besides the fact that they have a... Oh, never mind. I was going to say that besides the fact that they only have one small little line of sight open into garage, there's not much they can do about Karzeka. But now that they've opened up the wall in garage, Karzeka has many more things to worry about. Joystick over by the door behind the motorcycle doesn't spot Sleben, and Sleben doesn't spot him either. And Joystick will just hang around over by stockroom close to Adam. First kill comes out from Jonas, and he immediately refragged off by Dan. 4-4 with 60 seconds left. Joystick is going to slowly peek the main door, but Sleben runs into the garage, and he is going to start challenging Karzeka. He doesn't pick up the kill, and Joystick will get the frag onto him. Scyther and Shepard both get kills, and now it's all up to Shate, who is injured on the roof. He can withstand, but not much is going to happen, and Shepard cleans him up, putting round number 5 on the board for Team Empire. We didn't catch a lot of what just happened on screen, but oof, that was a small little bloodbath that just took place, to say the least. Team Empire are going to go downstairs into the basement for the first time on their run as the defensive squad. Karzeka on the Mozzie. I personally didn't think that Mozzie would have had the most impact on in the Pro League stage as others may have anticipated, because for Mozzie to be used effectively, you have to rely on the attacking team making mistakes, which is one of the reasons why he never really appealed to me. Obviously, playing as Mozzie, you can take a much more active stance to his playstyle and just keep that sort of crossbow in your hand and try to fish out drones in real time, or you can just plant them and have them wait stealthily for a drone to cross paths. And that is one of the reasons why, like I said, I never liked Mozzie, because you have to rely on the attacking team making mistakes. But other than that, he has got a really brilliant kit at the ready. He has got a secondary shotgun, which is not only good for making rotation holes as a defender, but it's also pretty lethal. He's got 2 okay-ish primary weapons. I mean, you've got the Commando, which is a 10 out of 10 on style with the reload, and it's also pretty powerful. And then you've got the Pepperoni, which is what I like to call it. You got the Pepperoni, which is a bit of a soft hitter, probably even softer than Valkyrie's MPX, but from a close range and with a high rate of fire, it gets the job done really easily. And then he's also got a C4, which is just a cherry on top for the Aussie. So now they're gonna quickly get the hatches open as fast as possible. They should have asked Jonas to just swing by over and use his X-Kairos instead, because using that Texan Dynamite on the hatch isn't really the most efficient use of utility, but it doesn't necessarily matter in this case, because a lot of teams choose not to utilize the dirt tunnel anymore, as I've actually seen. I haven't seen an actual dirt tunnel push by the attackers in quite a while in Pro League. So all of the hatches are now open. All of the defenders have been isolated back into the basement. C4 goes out from Karzeka, doesn't bag any kills, sadly. Joystick will continue to be jackal tracked by Shate. And and Boonsi's already dropped down into Moto, and now they're gonna go ahead and open up the church wall. They've got Jonas and Jonas and Boonsi throwing out their gadgets, trying to open up the wall as easily as possible, and they do make a small little hole on the bottom left of the wall. Joystick picks up kill onto Boonsi, and Sleben gets one onto Scyther. Joystick will, I believe he got downed. I don't know if it was by a grenade or if it was an intentional reset, but in any case, he's going to get picked up by his teammate. And with 30 seconds left on the board, you can expect nothing but shots coming out. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Gumphy picks up Joystick. It's a 3v2. Gumphy doesn't land the shots onto Dan. Dan picks up the kill, and Jonas on such low HP, he won't be able to get much done in these last 15 seconds. He has only one entryway he can effectively push in through, and Karzeka will be there to greet him with the pepperoni. Just one bullet will do the job. And that is going to be another round in Empire's favor. They're going to go up to match point. Sisu better have a few tricks under their sleeve if they want to pull this back, but things aren't looking too bright for Sisu. That last round, I'm not calling it sloppy, but I'm also not calling it perfect. It was just they managed to use their utility as efficiently as they possibly could have, but it was Empire just had much better gunplay than Sisu. Their shots were on point. Everything just went in Team Empire's favor that round. And sadly for Sisu, they won't be able to bag 3 points this round. 1 point if they're lucky and manage to draw things out with Team Empire. But it's Team Empire, so the odds of that happening are pretty slim, unfortunately. Team Empire are going to go upstairs into Gym Bedroom. That's the first time we are seeing this site in today's match. They'll bring out a castle as well to castle up the gym window, and also the doorway that leads into the 90 hallway over by the jacuzzi wall. The main reason why you want to have that doorway specifically barricaded by the castle is it offers extra protection to the bandit who is busy out there tricking. And they're also going to take heavy control of the cash room. Holding cash room is something that it's one of those tactics that has slowly developed, and it's also quite pretty recent tactic, because back in the day after this map was reworked, people wouldn't necessarily hold cash with an iron fist as teens love to do nowadays. But it has become almost pretty common to, hold down the cash room and have at least one person in there with a lot of defensive utility, just wasting as much time as possible and denying the attacking team construction control. It is a tactic that has pretty much proven to work out extremely well. I'm not gonna lie about that. Now they do have a small line of sight open by Sisu, but Karzeka picks up a kill onto Boonsi, and he nails some shot into Sleben, and Sleben will be put on less than 25 HP, and things are not looking good for Sisu. And they still haven't managed to get Karzeka out of his hole, but now they have. And Dan, with a run out, picks up 2 kills, putting the man count down to 4-2. Pistol shots go out, and Shepard picks up a kill onto Gumphy. It is a 4v1, and it's all up to Shate. Things are not going well for Sisu. Team Empire has played it practically perfectly. They know exactly where the last man is inside a server. Dan, with another run out, picks up, I believe that was his 3rd kill that round, and he will close out the match, getting Team Empire those 3 points and pushing Sisu down on the leaderboard even further. Extremely well played by Team Empire in the whole series, and especially in that last round.
I gotta say, they definitely had the balls to make those plays because you saw Dan, he was just running out from window to window, picking up as many kills as he could find. And oh boy, did it pay off for them. Oh boy, did it pay off. 7-3, the final score. And that's going to be it for me today. So, thank you all so much for watching this little VOD of me casting Sisu versus Team Empire. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like. Like I said, these videos are just for me to train my casting skills and hopefully have something to show off to ESL and eventually become a community caster and all that kind of stuff. So do leave a like if you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy this, leave a dislike. I'm always open to constructive feedback, so leave something down below in the comments and I will definitely read it. So thank you so much for watching and till the next video.